Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, seekers and sojourners of truth, the 144, chosen of the chosen of the chosen few. You know who you are. I am Akila Textry, and the divine essence, the divine energy essence of it all, reporting to you live from 5D. As always, all up in the 5D. Welcome to the 5D, fifth dimensional consciousness, for those who are expanding our consciousness into the new earth. Welcome to the new earth. It's time to give birth, time to have a rebirth inside of your new earth, right? So remember, we're not changing locations, we're just changing the stations, right? With that said, as usual, I come to bring you the news to infuse, if you so choose to, infuse with this light grid like I do. I'm finna choose to infuse with the light. So today, happy 2424 portal day. I have not spoken about the 2424 portal because for me, for those who know, the year did not begin January. I was still in 2023, so I didn't really come into 2424 until around the spring equinox, right? Around March, April. So now I'm doing it. This is the 2424 portal. So remember the portals, the dates. Let me clarify this in case anyone who's new. And welcome the new subscribers. Thank you for those who are subscribing. I appreciate you appreciating the truth, the reflections of truth as I share with you. Continue to like, subscribe, and share, right? And leave a comment if you dare. As I always say, I usually leave that at the end now. And the 2424 portal, let me give a little something before I go into what this 2424 portal is about. So for those who don't know, portals, for those who are into numerology may know, but portals are those days where you find numbers that are the same, repetitive numbers like 1111, 44 portal, all of these things that you probably see and are like, well, what is this? What makes this a portal? We make it a portal. Just to be clear, it is by the collective consciousness, by the energies of the collective consciousness that makes this a portal. So because most people are still in tune with the Gregorian calendar, we find these portal dates according to the Gregorian calendar, since that is what the masses are using. But we use it to find the energetic, I call it energetic hotspots. So there are many type of portals, right? So as I said, there's the 1111 or the 44. That's the day and the month that's the same of every month, right? So the 2nd of February would be the 22, and so on and so forth. There's also palindrome portals, which I spoke about previously, 2 or 3 videos previous to this. So feel free to look that one up to get more information on the palindrome. But those are dates. If there's a date that has a palindrome, like the end of the year 2023, which was 12/31 23, I believe that's 12/31/23. So you see it was a palindrome number. It was 12321, something like that, right? It usually ends in the number that it begins. 31 2023 23. Okay, you do the math, but either way, that was a palindrome date, and we're in a palindrome vortex right now. 10 days of palindrome numbers from the 420 to 429. So that's another portal slash vortex. I call it vortex when it's extended. That's just me personally. If it's multiple days, I'm like, oh, we're in a vortex. That's like a stretched portal, if you can look at it that way, an expanded portal, right? So last year, it was the 2323 portal. The year before that, the 2222 portal, which means the 24th of 2024, right? The year is 24. So 12 days throughout the year, you're going to have the 2424 portal. So this one essentially started in January. I just didn't really give it attention because I was focusing on my re-spiriting months, and I was still in 2023, so I was in my transitional phase. But 2024, all year, you're gonna have for the 24th day of each month. So you have 6 more, I believe. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We already had 4. So 12 months. Sorry, 8. What am I thinking? I'm thinking 10 conclusive. but 12 months for the year, and we've already gone 4 months, so we have 8 more months of 2424 portal. So feel free to catch it anytime, right? So what's going on in the portal, I always look at the numbers to kind of tell what's going on. Just like I gave you the palindrome, the main thing was 12, so it's like the theme of this cyclical completion. Here we have the number 24, 2 and a 4, right, which reduced to 6. When you put it together, it's 6. So there's a theme of 6 that's being repeated, right? And you can look at the 2 and the 4 as well, because they play a part. That 2 and the 4 makes up the 6, right? It could have been a 3 and a 3. There's different numbers you can play with that makes up 6. Not too many, but you can play with, it's more than 2 numbers. So this one happens to be a combination of 2, 4. So with that, I'm going to share, what I got with that, and I'll probably put it in the description as well, so you have it to read. So, and this is happening right behind the full moon, right? So this is post full moon, in Scorpio as well. I'll see if I give any information with that, or I may just do a separate video. Well, with this 2424 portal, the 2 and the 4 is the foundational balance 4. So before I go any further, let me make sure I explain. You're going to hear me describe the dimensional meanings of these numbers if you've watched the video I did on dimension. So you may hear some names that I've said in regards to the dimensions. So the 2 and the 4 is the foundational balance, which is the 4 of the harmony and duality. That's the 2, right? Which is reduced to 6 as the main portal gate through which we are existing in the knowing. The main portal gates are the 3, the 6, the 9 within the 9 dimensions of time. There are an infinite number, the infinite number of 9, as I call it. There are 9 dimensions that as we get past the 9, we just cycle again and go from 1 through 9 again, even though people may say 10 and 11th dimension, right? That's a different topic, but just to clarify that. So it's going through the main gate, the second main gate at that, which is the 6. And 6 representing the existing in the knowing, as I've said before. So 6 is that when you get to the 6th dimension, you are now existing in the knowing. It just is. You recognize the isness of things in the sense of its transcendence. It's almost like similar to the 6th chakra. It's really transcendence, right? Not saying it is that chakra, but it's similar. It's existing in that knowing capacity, right? This is a point of receptivity and submission to the true existence as we express the experience of time. Let me say this a little slower because it may confuse. It may be a little, what? Like, what's that? This is a point of receptivity and submission. This is what that 6th dimension is about. It's really important as we develop in time through creation. That when we get to the 6th dimension, it's about having a point. It's like a point in the middle. Between the 3 and the 9, the 6 is like that bridge or that point in the middle where we are to be receptive, right? There was a lot of giving with the 3. The 3 is more about the creative activity. And then here we are receptive, right? Receptive and in a submission state where you're just receiving, taking in information, being in an observational mode, witnessing. And by witnessing, you know that you're taking in information. And it's almost like you're intel and you're just taking note of all existence, and you're being allowing, right? Submission is submitting to the frequencies and the flow of the energies, and this takes great discipline as well. So this is why this is another main gate when it comes to manifesting in the 3, 6, 9, as you guys hear about it. So this point of receptivity and submission, at this point it is to have this submission to the true existence that we exist in. Just know that this is existence, as what I had just explained, through a foundational balance, that's the 4, with creation from the harmony of duality, it's the 2, through which harmony and grounding are one, because that 6 kind of represents this harmony. You see the existence of the harmony. It also represents the grounding, because by grounding you're allowing. A lot of people don't look at it like that, but it is. When you go out and ground, you are allowing. That's why they say when you're ruffled, your feathers are ruffled, and you're really annoy those of us that are in this light work, and they say you got to get out and ground, because when you ground, you're allowing the energies to flow through you. You're just allowing the channel to open and flow, and you connect with the earth, and the earth connects with you, right? So 6 kind of, it goes in the flow with what 6 is about, which is existing in the knowing and allowing, right? So this is allowing that true existence to happen through that 4 and the 2, right? Which happens through creation, which is the 3. And notice that it's saying that with this harmony and grounding, we are all one, right? So when we are balanced in the 4 corners of earth, foundation, the harmony of the dualities within allows us to have this true existence in the knowing through the realm or the scope of receptive activity, right? So it's allowing us to have this just by us being grounded. This is why the combination of the 4 and 2 is so important. So I know this may sound repetitive, but as you can hear, I'm explaining more of the importance of the combination of the 4 and the 2, because it is by having this balance. If you notice the 4 corners, they balance, just like 4 tires on the car. They balance the car, right? When you build the house, you got, or whatever it is, you always have like 4 corners in a room. It sets the foundation, right? So when we are balanced in the 4 corners of the earth, right, the harmony of the dualities, because there's a harmony between the 2, whether it's 2 here, or 2 here, 2 here, however you choose to look at the parallel, there's a harmony between the 2, right? If there's a balance of the 4 corners, that means the 2 are having a harmony wherever the 2 are existing in accordance with each other, whether it's parallel or adjacent, the 2 are harmonizing, right, to allow this balance. So it is where the harmony of the dualities within allows us to have that true existence in the knowing. So the harmonies, the 2 and the 4, that the harmonies that are respecting the foundation, which is the 4, it's allowing us to have the 6. So this is how you see the working of the 2 and the 4, right? Giving us that 6, but it's through this realm and the scope of the receptive activity, the allowing, the taking in, the witnessing, right? And it portals us through the 2nd main gate of the 9 dimensions. This is a 6-dimensional experience. So the 2424 portal is allowing us to practice being in the knowing, practice being in the existence, the true existence, by just allowing. It's allowing us to practice having a 6-dimensional experience. And by practicing it, it does help kind of pull you up more into your 5D experience. I know some of y'all might be like, 6-dimensional, I ain't even got hold of this 5D thing. No worries. This is not asking you to jump into 6D. But this is why we have to understand there are multiple dimensions happening at multiple times. It's not, even the explanation of dimensions is not one-dimensional, right? And it would be very hard for me to really break it down. I feel like I would have to have a course in dimensions to really go into the depths of it. So don't worry, you don't have to, this is not asking you to be a 6D. And some people are like, I ain't even at 4D. It's not about that. It's not about trying to get you there. But in practicing this 6-dimensional aspect of just existing, allowing, existing in the knowing, and being true receptive, and practicing that receptive activity, it helps stretch your dimensional muscles, so to speak, and pull you even more into your higher dimensional timeline wherever you are. If you're at a 3-dimensional level, it helps to pull you up into existing in your 4th dimensional timeline. If you're at a 4th dimensional level in your soul, it pulls you up into, existing in your 5th dimensional aspect of your timeline. Remember, everybody's in a different part of their timeline, right? But just practicing these dimensional aspects, which, like I said, are steps, they help you there. So consider every time the 2424 portal comes, you just get into a meditative state. You focus. Everything is about intentions. You focus on some of the things that I just explained to you. Focus on the balance, on having a foundational balance with the harmonies. What things are in your life that you want to have a four corners, balance. Something set in, just think of what the 4 represents. You don't got to get too analytical with it and You know, some of my Virgo type people, I know I got so much Virgo in my chart. You don't got to get too, you know, analytical with it and too logical. Don't get into your logical mind. This is just to understand and go with the flow and feel the energies and know that 4 is just foundational balance. You can see this foundational balance in so many aspects of your life. Where is there that you are setting a structure? And those of you who are entering into the 5D experience in the new earth, think of it like that. You're building a structure. We are building a new structure for our 5D consciousness. I've been talking about this since 2022 when we first broke ground in the Independence Day of 5D in February 22nd of 2022, right? So we're still building. Some people are just now starting to set their foundations, and some of us have already set foundations, and we're just adding to that. We're adding layers to our building structure. So imagine that whatever it is that's going on in your life, you're setting the foundations, you're setting the 4 corners. And in looking at that, look at the things that you need to harmonize, right? Look at the dualities. You should have 2 sets of dualities, whether they're parallel or adjacent. I know this may sound like, what the heck is she talking about? But you'll know, go to spirit and spirit will guide you. You don't got to think too much deep into it. Just look at what is that balance for you, to keep it simple, right? And what are the things I need to harmonize to have this balance about this particular thing, right? Or you could have multiple things, but keep the harmonies in accordance with that foundational balance, if that makes sense, because you don't want to confuse what you're harmonizing with another foundational balance. Just make sure it's focused on that particular foundational balance. So this is a time, it could be about your relationship, it could be about your job, it could be about your spiritual, your personal growth, whatever it is. You know, use the 2424 portals to help bridge you, so to speak, to help portal you through, because it's a portal. And as I always say, it's about what you're doing in the portals. Intentional. The more intentional you are, the more you are accessing certain types of information, the more you are attuning yourself to these vibrations and utilizing these energetic hotspots, portals that we all create to get you there to that next timeline, right? So with intention, speaking of intentions, with intention, we open this portal to expand our capacity to receive and submit our personal ego. So let me say that again. With intention, if we're intentional about it, we open this portal to expand our capacity to receive. Remember, it's receptive activity. And also submit our personal ego to the divine will of our spiritual journey. Submit. This is a submission part. We submit our personal ego. So we get that personal ego out the way and we submit it to the divine. So by expanding our capacity to receive, we then are able to submit our personal ego or our ego attachments, whatever they are, good, bad, ugly, especially if they're good. Take a good look at them, because when they're good, we tend to not call it ego, right? So look at what your personal ego is, which I like to call our personal attachments. Submit it to the divine will of our spiritual journey by setting, it allows us to do this by setting the foundations of our harmony of duality within our soul's unfoldment, because our soul is having the unfoldment, right? We incline our body to redirect our soul to adhere to the spirit's guidance towards our soul's sovereignty. Ultimately, that's what we are striving for. Most of us, if you are, sovereignty of the soul, which we should be. I don't like to tell people what they should do, but we should be, if that is the goal. Entering into 5D is relieving yourself, breaking away from the old constructs, the old paradigms that had us in bondage to misappropriated masculine energy, misappropriated patriarchal rule. We are returning to the harmonies, right? That should be one of the harmonies too. The masculine feminine energy is a duality, right? The light and the dark is a duality. The truth and the lies is a duality. Like there's all these, concepts that we are looking at. We want to remove ourselves from any fixed polarities and bring in integration. And this, speaking of that, this 4-2 helps us do just that. if you're looking at the four foundations and you're looking at the harmonies and look at the different ways you can harmonize the two. There's more than one way, right? And when you see that, you'll see, you know, these different paths lighting up for you, right? And this is just to help us with as we're portaling through. I'm just giving us a little something, but it'll really incline us, and we do need to redirect our souls so that we can adhere to our spirit's guidance. That's all. You know, these portals are really helping us to access another part of our timelines. That's why I love portals. Hotspot me any day. You know how they say you got to tether your mobile to this. Yeah, I'm tethering. Utilize these portals to tether your energetic body to these hotspots. It's the bridge, right? The energetic bodies is the bridge. So engage in that in the 2424 portal. And I love my beautiful flower. One big beautiful flower right over my shoulder. It's beautiful, right? We got to get out there and find the beauty. Wherever you find beauty, you'll find truth and you'll find goodness. It goes hand in hand. Truth, beauty, goodness. It's all from the oneness of the divine. So I invite you to unpack your junk and get into the fullness of time. Time travel, y'all. Don't be afraid. We are time travelers. Get through that portal and portal right through and see how it works out for you. If you can, find a meditation. I don't know if you can find any. I remember last year when I was looking for 2323 portals, I barely found like maybe 2 or 3 because not many people talk about these portals. A lot of people are fixed on the regular, let's call it the mainstream portals, right? The 1111 portal. People wait all year for just the 1111 and forget there's similar ones like that all through the other 12 months, right? And then we also have this, the 2424 portal, all through. And wherever you find a palindrome number, there are more portals. So you just got to look. Those of you who are in numerology, just pay attention to the dates. That's all I do. That's how I, found these portals last year in the universal year of 7. So with that said, enjoy your 2424 portal. Find you a meditation. If you can't find one that says 2424, then find an activation. I would listen to one of those activation meditations just to kind of activate yourself, attune yourself, like things like attuning to the crystalline light grid and things like that. This, just put in crystalline light grid meditation and you'll find some, or activation meditation and you'll find some, right? But try the 4-4 first. I'm going to do it. I'm going to look. With that said, happy 4-4 portal. Each one, reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out and be the candle that lights the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Peace, love, and light. Yeah. Portal out.